on. I only just arrived myself, so I'm... and Kale just passed by a moment ago. She said she had some things to sort out at the inn where she's staying, but she'll meet up with us when she's done. Apparently, Tainari and Sino both went out, but she stayed behind because she wanted to help. Not too bad. After reviewing it again with fresh eyes, I came up with a new theory which seems to hold some water. I'll attempt to explain it as simply as I can. I believe that each of the 4 things in the prophecy refers to a different field of knowledge. So, in a way, the prophecy is a test of the reader's intelligence. But it's unlikely for any one person to have expertise in all these different areas. So I suggest that we seek out one expert from each and get... Also, in 2 out of the 4 areas, the prophecy seems to want us to find specific people. It may even turn out that the people themselves are the answers.
So it sounds like we should put our heads together and list out the people who can help us.
Exactly. I think we can go through each riddle...
Alright, then let's start from group 1. The first riddle was, a flower that is not of this world.
Personally, I would still go with Albedo for this one. Alchemy is the most likely to have to do with otherworldly things, and he is by far the leading...
Exactly! You're the creator of the tetratanic sweet flower. Who knows? Maybe that's the flower we're looking for.
Huh? You really think so?
Oh, but what about Tainari? He's a forest watcher.
Alright, I'll add him to the
Make sure you like to share.
On to group 2. This subject is a guide who will never get lost.
That's kind of abstract. Does it just mean someone who...
Wait, but they have to be able to guide others too. So it's not quite as simple as that.
Oh, you mean Mona? Yeah, she definitely counts.
Mona. Yes, she certainly seems very confident. And she can use her astrology to guide people.
Would Bennett count? Well, his luck's so bad that as long as you go in the opposite direction from him, you'll always be going the right way, right?
I see.
I'm right here. Did you like to share?
Logic.
Add him to the list. Finding everyone won't take long, so one extra person won't hurt.
I know. Would Outrider Amber be a valid candidate for this category as well?
Yeah, she would! She's got a great sense of direction after all. As a matter of fact, when the Traveler and Paimon first came to Mondstadt, she was actually the one who gave us directions.
Yes, she's certainly a good guide.
Is there anyone else?
Let me think. Albedo once made a set of equipment for Mika from the reconnaissance company. He's their surveyor, and an exceptional pathfinder. He's even instructed others in the discipline of surveying before. So, in my view, he's highly unlikely to lose his way, and would be very good at helping others find theirs.
Cool! Another one for our list!
Wait, Kale should have been here by now. Wonder what's taking her so long. Sorry, could we continue our chat somewhere?
Oh, you wanna go see how she's doing, right? Sure!
Kale. Hope we're not intruding or anything. Is everything okay?
Sucrose! I was preparing some stuff. Is it time already? Oh no, I'm sorry.
Don't worry. The Traveler and I only just met up. We were just worried that you might get lost along the way, so we thought that we'd come get you.
Thank you. I'm ready to join you now. How's that thing going?
So let's pick up where we left off.
Next up is the third line. One who would never lie. You really think so? Seems like it would be pretty difficult for someone in his position to avoid having to lie. Then what about Kaya? You think there's something... I can't help but agree with you there. There's the tone-deaf bard. But on second thought, he wouldn't qualify either. He talks way too much nonsense.
Acting Grandmaster Jean? For example, also...
White lies are... No! We're the ones...
Rosaria doesn't strike me... Oh, Kale. You probably haven't met her yet, have you? She's a sister from the church who looks... a little scary. She stopped by the alchemy bench once, a long time ago, and asked me about Albedo. I thought maybe she was trying to find him, for work or something. But when I asked, she just said that she was curious about him because he was so intelligent, and wanted to talk to his assistant to find out what he was like. A lot of people might have given a more tactful justification, but I could see in her face that she wasn't trying to hide anything. She was just very direct and straightforward. That's why I don't think of her as the lying type.
Rosaria doesn't look like the sort of person you'd want to get into a fight with. Maybe she just fights her way out of situations that some people might lie to get out of.
I can definitely see that. I've also heard the other sisters say that Rosaria doesn't even make excuses when she skips choir. She just doesn't show up.
She's a tough cookie, huh? Let's put her name down. In that case, I think Sino fits in this list too. True. Lying's probably more trouble than it's worth for someone like him. Kinda like with Rosaria. Oh, and Paimon also nominates Razor. Bet he couldn't lie to save his life.
I've also got someone else in mind. Noelle, the trainee knight. She's a very honest person. I don't think she'd tell a lie.
Alrighty, write her name down too.
Wait, there's one more person. You know, our long-standing staffer at the alchemy bench.
Huh? You mean Timaeus?
Yes, him. Truth be told, he's been love-struck recently. He swore that he wouldn't say a dishonest word or slack off until he succeeds in getting the woman he loves.
Timaeus has a crush?
Yes, that's right.
Well, who is it? Do you know her?
I've never met her. All I know is that she's from Liyue. To me, since we're on the topic...
But how can we help with that?
I don't know. Make sure he uses nice paper and a fancy envelope when he sends letters to her. Help him pick a nice gift and wrap it properly. That sort of thing.
Yeah. I had the same situation once in the Avidia Forest. I helped another forest ranger out by delivering a love letter to the coworker she likes.
Yep, that sort of thing exactly. Oh, also, I helped him with some of the groundwork for one of his research projects. He must have appreciated it, because he gave me a refrigeration device that he's been developing as a thank you gift.
Is it any good?
I mean, it looks nice.
Sounds like a no. Alright, guess we'll put Loverboy down on the list then.
Okay, so last of all, we have a legend that never ends. Anyone come to mind for this particular line?
Lisa, perhaps? A librarian understands books best, and aren't most legends written down somewhere?
When I think about legends, fairy tales and picture books come to mind.
Maybe Kale. She read a lot of fairy tales when Tainari was teaching her to read.
Oh, do I count?
Of course you do. I'll put you on the list. I prefer to read things like an illustrated analysis of alchemical substances and their uses, the fascinating principles of crafting, and hypotheses of life.
Point taken. Paimon didn't quite understand any of those.
Klee might be a good choice. Her mother, Alice, is a renowned traveling author, so I'll bet she's been exposed to all sorts of myths and legends.
Alright then, Klee makes the short list.
Well, that should just about do it. Next up, we should go and ask the people on the list about the prophecy.
Do we have to ask absolutely everyone on the list? It seems like a lot of people.
It is. So, I was thinking that perhaps we should split up. That might make our search more effective.
Okie dokie.
Also, I thought of...
No problem. We can do that.
You and the Traveler are practically joined at the hip.
Capable Kale and sensible Sucrose. Sounds like a winning combination.
Okay, I promise I'll help. Capable Kale. Yeah, I got this.
Rest assured that the unbeatable Traveler and Paimon will do our part too. Off we go!
I plan on starting from the person with the most defined stronghold. So, let's go to the library. Lisa should be there.
Stronghold. That's an, interesting word to use.
Maybe...
How about... What?
Here we are. Lisa's lair.
Oh no. That was a bad word choice. Now Sucrose is using it. It's all my fault.
Lisa, might I ask if... Huh?
Sucrose. Kale. What are you doing here?
I can only sucrose that they were Kale-ing on someone. At least that's as far as I know.
Oh, please, just stop it with these puns. I beg you. Are you trying to win worldwide fame for unfunny jokes?
Is Lisa not here at the moment?
Surprising, isn't it? She went out. I'm afraid it's just us here looking for information.
Except me. I'm not here for information. Like you, I came here for an abortive search for the librarian, who is also my academia senior.
Oh, so you studied in the same darshan as Lisa?
That's right. Her mentor in Sumeru was also my benefactor. We were both Spontamod students.
Wow, that's cool. But wait, we're getting sidetracked. We came here to look for some
Oh? What sort of prophecy?
I see. You want to ask them about the flower that is not of this world.
But there's no rush. You don't need to answer right away. We're just here to tell you about the situation. You can take your time to think it over and submit any thoughts you have in written form to the Sucrose mailbox.
The Sucrose mailbox?
Yep. I was thinking about it on the way. And although they seem like trick questions, there's a lot to mull over once you get down to the details. A quick answer off the top of your head might not go into enough depth. So, I decided to place a mailbox next to the alchemy crafting table. Everyone can submit their written answers there when they're ready. We don't have to call it the Sucrose mailbox, though. It could just as well be called the Sucrose and Kale mailbox. Or even the Sucrose, Kale, Traveler, and Paimon mailbox.
I think in this case, we can just go with your quick answer off the top of your head.
Sounds like a good solution. Certainly more reliable than verbal discussion alone.
Agreed. Certainly when it comes to discerning whether someone is a liar or not, you cannot simply take them at their word.
Understood. Once we've had a look into it, we'll place our replies into your mailbox.
Thank you all so much. Okay, let's tick them off the list and carry on working our way down.
Already done.
I'm pleasantly surprised to see those two introverts getting along so well.
Do you get the feeling that Kale's return to Mondstadt has emboldened her more contrarian side?
Yes, I'd noticed that too.
Traveling and meeting old friends are both good for the body and soul. And isn't rediscovering one's youth while revisiting old haunts a worthwhile pursuit?
When I first met Kale, she'd never known happiness or youth. But things are different now. Her Elazar being cured was a huge milestone in her life.
Kale is a very sensitive and introverted child. I'm sure you must have noticed that too, Albedo. From the time she's been in my care, I've observed that she's actually a very lively character by nature. But she had a very rough start in life, and it changed her.
So, might I assume that your respective claims of looking for plants and artists in Mondstadt were just pretexts?
I wouldn't say that. Both Kale and Genius Invocation TCG are very important to me.
Would it really kill you to just say yes in this situation?
Fine. Yes. We came out of concern for Kale. She's been back to Mondstadt of her own accord several times, but it has led to no significant improvement in her mood.
Well, it won't hurt to give her some more time. I believe that Sucrose might be able to help her.
Sounds like an extension of your own self-confidence as her teacher.
You could say that. In a similar vein, I've heard that Sumeru scholars often build their social relationships based on their academic ones. Is that true?
I suppose it might look like that from your perspective. Sumeru society is something of a special case. The reason it is known as the City of Learning is because all of its resources are in some way linked to academia. As such, academic resources equate to social capital. It is not unheard of, for example, for people to build a family in order to pursue, but the relationship between the three of us is not an academic one turned social. We've never even worked on a paper together for starters.
Oh, so the academic paper is the nexus of the academic family. Interesting.
I would think of us more as siblings. An equal and pure relationship, unaffected by academic considerations.
As much as I'd prefer not to admit it, that statement is not inaccurate.
I can understand that position. I have a younger sister myself, and it's only natural for me to be protective of her. What you described fits the idea of a city of learning, as I imagine it. The family is where all social relationships intersect. As such, a family founded on common goals may actually be more stable. By the way, who's the eldest between you?
Let's not go down this rabbit hole, please.
In terms of age, I'm the eldest, of course. He just doesn't want to admit it.
But your mental age is younger than that. I dare say even by enough to be the youngest sibling. Perhaps I could bring Kale into this happy family to be your elder sister.
No. You will never see me admit to being the youngest sibling. Except perhaps as a last-ditch effort to turn the tables in a game of cards.
guess we'll leave Kale and Sucrose to it. Fingers crossed all goes well for them. Let's try our luck at the bulletin board, shall we? A lot of people tend to show up there at some point in the day. Maybe we'll get lucky.
What's that?
Nice! Just as we hoped! There's a load of people here. Huh? Even Lisa's here.
Hey there, Traveler in Paimon. It's been a while. How have you been?
We've been doing pretty well.
You look surprised, cuties. Is it because of me?
Teacher is not at the usual place.
Oh, please. It's not as if I'm glued to my chair. I like to get out for a little fresh air every once in a while. Mika's here today, so I thought it'd be a good time to introduce him to Bennett and Razor. They're all out and about quite often, so it's helpful for them to get to know one another.
Hello, everyone. I look forward to working with you.
No need to be so formal. We've known them for ages. They're cool.
Windbloom. Fun?
Actually, we haven't gotten to the fun part yet. We've been busy investigating a prophecy.
A prophecy? What kind?
A good one or a bad one?
Gosh, that all sounds quite fascinating.
I can't believe I made it onto your list of names. You really think I'll be able to help?
Believe in yourself. Right. Believe in yourself. You're a first-rate adventurer, Bennett.
Okay, then in that case, I'll step up and present my thoughts on the matter. Except I forgot I'm not really good at organizing my thoughts. Oops.
Oh, there's no need to tell us all of your thoughts right here and now. Sucrose said she'll put a mailbox next to the crafting bench, so you can just write down your thoughts when they come to you, and drop them there.
A meticulous and efficient plan. Yep, that sounds like Sucrose.
I will think also. Give me some time.
You still have other people on your list that you need to go see, right? We should leave you to it. Don't worry about us. We'll drop off our letters at the mailbox as soon as we're done.
Okay, bye for now. Let's head over to Star Snatch Cliff next. Maybe we'll be able to find some people there. And even if we don't find any familiar faces, you can see really far from up at the top. Maybe we can find people that way.
Aw, you're working so hard. Do be sure to get some rest when you can. If you get tired, you know you're always welcome to visit me for a break and a cup of tea.
Where to next? Let me check my notes. Huh, this way.
Got it. Kale, please follow me.
Where to next? Let me check my notes. Huh, this way.
Got it. Kale, please follow me. already out? Oh, okay. Just one last... Oh, it's our lucky day. There are several people over there.
Amber? Wow, and Eula's with her too. Oh, it's Sucrose! And Klee also spies... the girl with the long scarf.
Kale, we were just talking about you. Ah, right, I don't think you've been introduced to Noelle before. Kale, this is Noelle, maid of the Knights of Favonius.
Nice to meet you, Kale. I missed you the last few times you were in Mondstadt, so I'm glad to finally meet you in person.
Oh, nice to meet you too, Noelle. My name is Kale. But you already knew that.
Relax, you two. There's no need to be so courteous. We're not on some kind of diplomatic mission here.
Klee, what are you doing here? Are you planning to blast some fish?
Nope. Klee's on patrol with the other knights.
Huh. Now that you mention it, it looks like everyone here is a Knight of Favonius except for Kale and me.
I'd heard that there was a very young knight in the ranks, but it's still a surprise to see with my own eyes. Kale, what do you do? I'm a trainee forest ranger in the Avidia Forest. Trainee? It means I'm not officially a fully qualified forest watcher yet. I'm still learning.
Oh, you're just like me. I'm still working towards becoming a fully qualified knight.
Technically, though the distinction is hardly relevant right now. This isn't a very formal patrol. We're just chatting.
Don't panic, Kale. Just pick a topic and join the conversation. Don't panic. Whatever you do, don't panic. It's just Amber and her friends. There's no need to be nervous.
Let me guess. Were you chatting about the new guests in town?
Yep. A few folks from Sumeru have come to visit, so we're brainstorming a few nice surprises for them.
Amber!
Sorry, at least I didn't say anything about what the surprises are.
Oh no. How am I supposed to join this conversation now? What do I say to that?
Speaking of nice surprises, we've actually had a fairly big one recently.
What kind of surprise? Tell me! I'm saved. Sucrose is giving me a lead-in. Now, I just need to follow on from what she's already started talking about.
What an interesting prophecy. I have no idea what the answers could be, though.
So essentially, you're gathering information to help you solve the riddles, correct? I'll do my best to help.
Thank you so much, Eula.
Anytime.
There's no need to answer right away. We'll put a mailbox next to the crafting bench for people to drop us a note once they've thought of something.
I'll drop something in there for sure.
Nice idea. I think we can all commit to writing a note. We'll see what we can come up with.
Yep, don't worry. You can count on us. But we do have to finish our patrol first.
What route are you taking today?
We started in the Stormbearer Mountains, and we'll end at the city gates. You'd be very welcome to join us, but it sounds like you're pretty busy with all this.
No. There's always next time. We'll join up with you after we're done working through this prophecy.
Oh, yeah, so, we'll be on our way for now.
See you later. Have a safe trip back.
Are you okay, Kale?
Was it that obvious?
No, not at all. It just looked like you had something on your mind.
So that means it was obvious.
Whatever's bothering you, you can talk to me about it if you want. I'm happy to help.
Thanks, Sucrose. Well, the truth is, I don't really know how to act around Amber and the others.
Really? I thought you two were good friends.
We are. Amber's a really important friend to me. I don't know. I guess if I'm being completely honest, the problem's probably with me. The first time I came to Mondstadt, I was really immature. I didn't want to let people in, and I was generally pretty awful to everyone. Amber was the one person who didn't give up on me, and if it wasn't for her persistence, I wouldn't have found a friend at all. Without Amber, I might not even be here today. And because of that, I really look up to her. I think of her as my role model, and hoped that maybe one day, I could learn to be like her. But after trying and failing for several years, I think I finally realized. I'm no Amber, and I never will be. Looking back, it seems silly that I ever thought like that. We're nothing alike at all. My personality's so... weird. I always get so anxious and I overthink everything.
Aw, Kale, don't say that.
Sucrose? Would it be okay if I told you a bit about my past?
I already knew bits and pieces about her, but still...
I'm sorry. We've only just met and I'm already dumping all of this on you. This is why I get so frustrated at myself. I'm always doing this. I get into a spiral of self-doubt, and then I end up having to find somewhere to vent it all out.
No, it's fine. I'm really glad that you're willing to tell me all this. People don't open up about their deepest feelings unless they really trust the other person. Don't you think? At least. And, I mean... you've probably noticed by now, but I don't have the best social skills either. I always just end up talking about the things I'm interested in, and going on and on. But even so, you still listen to me when I talk my head off about alchemy. It's a relief to listen to you talking about yourself for once. If you hadn't told me all of those things, I never would have guessed that you struggle so much. Honestly, I feel like we're very similar people.
Really?
Yeah. Everyone has their own problems to deal with. I certainly do. All the feelings that you talked about just now, I totally get it. It takes so much more effort for us introverts to fit into a crowd. When you were saying about how you try to think about what to say in advance, and you're constantly terrified of saying the wrong thing and making things awkward, I relate to that so much. Oh, and also that part about studying under a genius. In fact, before meeting you, I'd never met anyone who seemed so similar to myself. Oh. I'm not very good at giving words of comfort or anything, and I'm not gonna tell you to just get over it or stop worrying about it. How about we just sit here for a little while? We don't have to force a conversation if we can't think of anything. We can just sit here together.
Sucrose has stopped talking, but for some reason, this doesn't feel awkward at all. Maybe she's right, and we're more similar than I realized. In Sumeru, I always like to find a quiet place to just sit and watch the scenery, but it's always by myself. I never thought there'd be a day when I could do this with someone else by my side. Mondstadt's breeze is so gentle and soft.
Hey, Kale. See that cloud over there? Doesn't it look like one of my test tubes?
I don't think so. Sorry.
then maybe we're not quite on the same wavelength on everything. At least, not when it comes to looking at clouds in the sky.
Thank you, Sucrose. I feel much better after talking to you.
Yeah, it helps a lot, doesn't it? I also vent to my flasks sometimes. The next time I get the chance, I have to show you my Tetratanic Sweet Flower and my Tetratanic Windbloom.
Your Tetra... what?
2 of my favorite things I've made. They're really cool. I think you might like them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you'll definitely have to show them to me sometime.
I brought some crackers with me. You want one? There's cheese flavor or tomato flavor.
Sure. I'll try the cheese one.
Aw, look! They're enjoying the scenery together.
Shall we go play with them?
No, it's fine. Let them sit for a while.
We're not what Colleen needs right now. She needs a new friend. Someone different who's never met her before.
I don't get it. Is there a difference?
There is. You'll understand once you're a little older, Klee. People can draw different kinds of strength from different kinds of friends. And right now, Colleen needs someone that's just not the same old me.
Hopes we find someone we need here.
Help! Oh, I beg you, please don't let go!
Who's that yelling? Let's hurry and take a look. Timaeus? And we also have Rosaria and Mona? What kind of mishmash ensemble is this?
Good question. What kind of a motley crew is this?
It's been a while, Traveler.
You two are looking pretty good. I trust you've been well.
Yep, we're definitely faring a lot better than this poor guy on the ground.
Hey, please don't rub salt in my wound. I really have been trying my best.
Oh, you're one to talk. If this sister hadn't grabbed you in time, then you'd have been seriously hurt, if not dead.
I know. I really am grateful, miss. I can't thank you enough.
Don't mention it. Just lending a hand.
Quite literally. And had she not lent him a hand and pulled him up, he would have gone tumbling down the cliffside.
What happened? Did Timaeus almost fall off the cliff?
Well, so what actually happened was I came to Star Snatch Cliff today to pick some flowers and ran into Mona on the way. She took a look at her scry glass and advised me to turn back because it would be dangerous.
But you still came up here anyway?
Well, yes, I did, because there's something I just had to do.
Oh, I hardly think giving flowers to your crush is worth throwing one's life away for.
It's rare to run into someone with a death wish in this area.
I don't have a death wish. I just didn't think it would really come true. I mean, when Mona said it would be dangerous, I thought I'd be fine as long as I watched my step cautiously. I'm sorry, okay? I was wrong. I'm telling you, I'm just here chasing the love of my life. Love-struck Mondstadters is what the Windbloom Festival's all about.
Okay, that explains you. But why is Rosaria here?
I was looking for a quiet place to escape the crowds. I wasn't planning on having to save a life along the way.
So that's why the scryglass just showed danger instead of fatal danger.
Very funny. Anyway, Traveler and Paimon, what brings the two of you to Star Snatch Cliff?
Just trying our luck. We've got a lot of people we need to see today, so we've been all over the place. Actually, you're some of the people we were looking for.
Huh?
I see. So, all we'll need to do is find some clues, make a note, and drop it off at the mailbox?
I can't believe there's a prophecy like this, let alone that I have a part to play in it. Oh, I guess this means everyone will find out about my crush now. I came here because I wanted to give some Cecilias to the girl I love. They'll really suit her. She's...
No one asked. Please, do not subject us to your gushing about your girlfriend.
Oh, you saw right through me.
You said you need clues, right? Well, in that case, Mona Magistus the astrologist will provide you with a personally handwritten letter. Just wait for it to show up in your mailbox.
You can be on your way now. We won't keep you any longer.
Alright, then let's head back for now and meet up with everyone else.
Will do. This is all so embarrassing. Thank you both.
We're back! Oh, but it looks like you two beat us.
Welcome back. Did everything go well?
Yep, we managed to find and talk to everybody.
We got back a little early, so we took some time just now to put the mailbox together. We got really lucky today. The vendors were feeling super generous, so we didn't even need to pay for the materials. It's just a shame that Kale got a splinter.
Don't worry about me. I'm used to working in the rainforest. I get splinters all the time. I've already taken care of it.
We've already wrapped up everything on our to-do list for today. So, all we need to do now is wait for everyone's letters to arrive. Traveler, Paimon, why don't you get some rest while I keep an eye on the mailbox?
You're definitely your master's student, Sucrose. As long as you or Albedo are around, Paimon can relax and know that everything's taken care of.
Stop. You're embarrassing me.
Wait. Actually, there's one thing that still needs taking care of. Paimon's starving. Hey, Traveler, you want to get dinner? Your treat.
I'll go with Sucrose to return the leftover materials to the vendors. You two, go get a proper meal. We can't have anyone going hungry.
Yeah, now would be a good time for a break. Once everything is ready, let's meet up here again and collate all the information we've gathered.
Sounds like a plan. Paimon will have this one, and this one, ooh, and this one. Hey, Paimon's really hungry! And don't forget, Paimon's also ordering for you, too. It's not like Paimon's gonna eat everything by herself. Ooh, Paimon is super full.
Is everything packed up and ready? What do you think about meeting up at 5 to go to my house?
Yes, everything's ready. I've packed some great wine and smoked ham. Oh, your parents will love it.
Ham? Look, we've known each other for quite some time now. Don't you think it's been long enough for you to remember that we only eat bacon in my house?
I must remember to get some milk today on my way home. Please, feel free to pay a visit to Cat's Tail anytime.
Enjoying the scenery?
Oh, Tone Deaf Bard! Are you here for some food as well?
Oh, I can put something on your tab?
Well, that's a pity. I already had a few drinks before coming here. I shall take you up on your kind offer another day. There should be no shortage of opportunities in the future. Anywho, you should be getting ready to thank me. I come bearing good news.
Hmm? What kind of good news?
Behold!
What is it?
It's what you need the most right now. The answer to the prophetic puzzle. Simply head to the location marked on the map and you'll find the lantern you've been looking for. However, if I were you, I wouldn't just go and reveal the secret right away. As you've seen, a lot of people have been laboring hard to uncover the answer. A secret is like a well-aged brew. The aroma from the bottle is sweetest when revealed in the company of friends. Then it's settled. I'll leave you to your business for now. Feel free to find me for a chat again once you're done working through the prophecy. Also, if you have some time, we could organize another fast-track love poem class.
Oh, you're starting that up again?
I sure am. Nobody else has signed up this year, though, so the duty to learn falls on you. Anyway, see you later.
Venti always looks so relaxed whenever we run into him. Paimon can't help but be jealous.
Excuse me, if you don't mind, could I chat with you for a moment?
Oh? Who are you?
You may call me Scarlet. Just like you, I'm a traveler visiting Mondstadt from another land. Mind if I buy you a drink? Leaving the door open for another time, I see. I can tell that you've dealt with a lot of people during your travels.
You can tell? Well, we are very experienced adventurers after all.
I can. That's why I tried to strike up a conversation with you in the first place. I was on my way to go shopping earlier when I overheard your conversation next to the crafting bench. From what I could gather, you are trying to investigate a bizarre prophecy?
Yep, bizarre is definitely the word.
Don't you think it sounds just like the kind of story that would happen in Mondstadt? Anyway, that's why I wanted to ask you if not so much the prophecy itself, but Mondstadt as a nation. That's what I'm interested in. I was born in a distant land, but I have family and friends who once lived in Mondstadt for a long time. They said that it's a great place full of fairy tales and romance and recommended that I come for a visit. As it happens, someone I know has an anniversary coming up soon. So I figured this would be a good time to come here and see all the sights that she once saw.
What do you think about Mondstadt so far?
It certainly lives up to its name as the city of romance and freedom.
We think so too.
So, about the prophecy. Thank you. You're very friendly. It's been a real pleasure to meet you. I'll leave it to you then. Hope you continue to enjoy the city and have a wonderful day.
She definitely isn't dressed like a local, huh? Where do you think her hometown could be?
Please find me a flower that is not of this world, and a guide who will never get lost. Find me one who would never lie, as well as a legend that never ends. Huh? I never thought I'd have someone secretly following me, even in a free city like Mondstadt. Good day to you, miss.
Miss Shawnee, as we discussed earlier, I've brought someone with me.
Mr. Alhaitham, I'm aware of where you stand, but how can I make sure that your friends think the same as you?
Huh? What do you mean? We need to clarify our stance or something?
Go ahead and talk to her. You'll get the answers you want. Go on. Earn her trust.
Is it really that simple?
May I call you Traveler? Hi, Traveler. I want to ask you something. Do you think the resurrection of King Deshret can truly change Sumeru for the better? Why's that? That's very similar to what Miss Candace says. I know you two are friends. That's why I'm willing to talk to you, even though I do have some reservations. Before, I wouldn't even have the courage to ask something like this. Traveler, do you believe our lives will get better?
Yeah! We came here from another nation, so it isn't wrong of you to be weary. And we aren't really residents of any one nation. But even so, we've met lots of people from different places, and we've always fought for what we believed in. We have friends in Sumeru, and we want to help them. That's why we decided to stay here for a while.
I want to trust you. My apologies for posing my questions like that. To be honest, I didn't expect you to come back for more information.
Alhaitham told us you have your reasons. It's okay. We understand.
The fact is that only one side of my family is desert folk. I don't really fit in anywhere in Sumeru. Some believe in the Dendro Archon, while others believe in King Deshret. I don't belong to either side, and neither side would want me.
Speaking of which, the Radicals mentioned that they despise traitors. Do they just think that anyone who's different from them is a traitor?
Yeah. Some people can be so narrow-minded when it comes to bloodline and beliefs. It makes no difference what I say or how I behave. I'll always be suspected of having ulterior motives. Slowly, I just stopped talking to people. I pretended not to hear or see anything. All I want is to live my life in peace. And then it happened. The village keepers who had helped me disappeared with no explanation, and I didn't dare breathe a word about it to anyone. Until now.
You can tell them. I'm sure she'll keep your secret.
All right. I'll tell you what I told Alhaitham. I actually have a sharper sense of hearing than most. Sometimes, I hear strange crying sounds in the night.
There are ghosts?
Perhaps. I'm not sure. It's faint, but it's definitely the sound of crying. It comes from far away in the distance, and always carries very raw emotion. It used to be louder and more frequent, but ever since you arrived in the village, it doesn't seem to happen as often, and when it does, it's much quieter. I have to focus really hard to make it out.
I confirmed this with the guards on night duty. They also have someone with a good ear, and he's heard similar sounds at night. But, because we're in the middle of a desert, he would rather believe that they are the cries of beasts than ghosts.
There's really nothing around these parts, except for an old hospital not far from the village.
I think they used to use it for treating Elazar, but it's been abandoned for years.
go! Oh, is this the place? Ah, monsters! Watch out!
Be still. Kamisato Suyu. That's close enough.
Boba, get them!
Shine down! Illusion shattered, torn to oblivion! Shine down!
Be gone! You're toast!
Illusion shattered! Inazuma shines eternal!
Cascade.
They were easier to deal with than Paimon had expected. Super strong bandits? Or monsters taller than buildings dropping out of the sky? Or, you know, something like that. He looks super serious. We gotta stay on our A game too.
This is the one. Let's go in and take a look.
We haven't found Squat!
Patience. Shawnee says she only hears the crying at night. We have time to burn. Until then, I'm taking a break.
And just like that, he sits down. Wait, he even... What are you reading? Let Paimon see!
Okay, sure.
Huh? The natural position, which is the positional propensity of an entity in natural motion in contrast with an object in forced motion? Huh? When free from external influences, every entity displays the tendency to follow its natural trajectory?
So, you got that?
Oh, Paimon gives up. You keep reading your book. See ya! How is he so relaxed? Look at him, reading an impossible book in a creepy place like this. Hey! Paimon's your Tibet travel guide. Paimon knows plenty of useful stuff already. And anyway, it's up Paimon Sumeru are so complicated? Paimon's getting so sleepy. Huh? What was that sound?
There it is. It's coming from that direction.
Is the sound coming from here? Huh. Paimon's not seeing anything.
It's from below.
But there's no way we can get down there.
Something is off about the interior here. As I thought, there's a hidden structure.
Wow. It's like they tucked another hospital into this one. Oh, it looks like there are other mechanisms around here. Let's keep exploring.
Everything's ready.
Mind the daily.
Just like we rehearsed.
Shine down.
Be still.
There is no escape. Illusion shattered. Now you shall perish. There is no escape.
Be still.
Illusion shattered.
No escape! I will protect you.
Leave it to me.
Steady as stone. Someone needs assistance. I'll catch up.
I have to go. I will be right back. I'm taking a break. Alright, I'm back. Let me put my headphones on.
Let me check the roof. There's one on the roof.
Go, Barry!
Scorpion.
Illusion shattered!
Leave it all to me.
Everything's ready. Look, there's someone over there. Good idea. Let's approach him slowly without alarming him.
Wait. You're...
He can't speak, and his eyes are unfocused. But he looks too young to be anyone's grandfather. Also, why is he the only one here?
Didn't expect to see him here.
You know him?
He's Razak, a senior of mine at the academia.
He's a scholar too? Is he the kind that holes up in a forest and mumbles stuff about training?
No. And that's the problem. Razak was never involved in any of those things. He never trained in the forest, let alone reach Satyavada life. Leaving that question aside for the moment, him being here alone means that we might be too late. Looks like they've already taken everyone away. For whatever reason, they left Razak here. Perhaps they simply didn't have time to come back for him. There are drag marks on the ground. They're clearer by the doorway. Someone was forcefully drawing a cart that was loaded with something heavy.
Loaded with people?
That is one possibility. It looks like they were in a hurry, as if they were afraid of being caught. In their haste, they failed to notice Razak hiding in a corner. The symptoms are identical. Looks like we found living proof.
Huh? Why do you say that?
Allow me to jog your memory. Recall your time at Port Ormos. Don't you think his symptoms look familiar?
Oh, now that you mention it, they're acting the same way.
Correct. The academia is behind all of this. It isn't difficult to deduce their rationale.
First, the academia spread a false rumor of King Deshret's resurrection, emphasizing the role of the village keepers, the mad scholars who were exiled to Aru village. These rumors were all the persuasion that the radicals needed, and those based in Aru village leapt into action. Unbeknownst to them, of course, through rounding up the scholars, they were actually helping the academia. As well as being able to exploit the radicals for their own ends, this scheme has one further advantage to the academia. All the risks and responsibilities are offloaded onto King Deshret's followers. Life for the desert dwellers has been brutal ever since King Deshret's death all those years ago. Beneath the surface, feelings of desperation are widespread. Many would give everything they have for the prospect of something better. Anyone looking to exploit that for their own ends simply needs to make a few empty promises. Even if complications arise, people will see that those involved are all followers of King Deshret and look for no further explanation than differences of belief. A deep-seated mistrust of the desert and everyone in it by the rest of Sumeru. The notion of an academia plot wouldn't even cross their minds. It may seem like a simple strategy, but it is able to work wonders under Sumeru's current circumstances.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. It's in line with the village chief's theory, too. But there's still one very important question. Wasn't it the academia that brought the scholars to Aru Village in the first place? Why does it want them back now?
Throughout this process, one thing has changed. The scholars' identity. First, they were scholars. Then, they became lunatics. After that, they were exiles. And finally, they become missing persons. An exile is still patently a living, breathing human being. But when someone becomes a missing person, that is brought into question. If you can't find someone, you have no way of knowing what exactly happened to them. That makes missing people an ideal resource.
Resource? For what exactly?
One possibility is that the information in their brains could be extracted into knowledge capsules.
Extracted? You mean canned knowledge comes from people's brains?
With the technology of the Sumeru Academia, it's entirely possible. Perhaps the process caused them great suffering, which is why they cry out in the dead of night when no one is watching them.
So, the human brain... Nope, nah, Paimon doesn't want to think about this.
I'm the Academia scribe, after all. I'm familiar with their projects. Anyway, judging by Razak's state, the contents of a divine knowledge capsule were extracted from his mind. But something went wrong in the process. Or perhaps his curiosity got the better of him, and he used such a capsule for himself.
Paimon's a little confused. Can they just use anyone's brain?
The look on your face tells me you've realized the answer. That's right. To some scholars, gaining knowledge about the gods is their entire life's pursuit. Extracting canned knowledge is just one of the extreme measures they turn to. However, I can't help but wonder, what do they seek to gain from divine knowledge? The Academia is going out of their way to look for forbidden knowledge, but what is their ultimate goal? I've spent quite some time trying to analyze the contents of the divine knowledge capsule, but to no avail. It seems like my way of thinking is too different from theirs.
You mean you're not even slightly interested in getting your hands on this forbidden stuff?
All scholars seek to expand the horizons of knowledge, but I'm not particularly interested in gods, so I don't share their degree of zealotry. Extracting information from people as if they were lifeless objects? If this is the direction of academic progress, then the Academia may as well shut its doors.
Sounds like you're really against all this.
Of course. The Academia's actions run contrary to their rules. Whether it be academics or knowledge, everything has its boundaries. If those lines are crossed, the rules and order that govern everything in the world will be destroyed. This matter needs to be corrected, just like fixing a typo in a book.
Wait, didn't you step in to help because because you felt sympathy for those poor people?
Not to be callous, but no. My criteria are a little more restrictive than that. There is no shortage of suffering in Sumeru, and the same can be said for the rest of Teyvat as well. What do you plan to do about that? Save every last person?
Probably not. Paimon's not sure.
You can say that. Simply put, I don't blindly place my faith into strength or heroism. I do what I want. The Divine Knowledge Capsule is something I want to investigate in full. That doesn't mean I'm willing to take action for the sake of a few strangers.
Paimon's been wanting to say this for a while. There are a lot of bad guys in the academia, but you're not one of them. You're their weirdo.
You're probably right. Though I must say, I quite enjoy this feeling of being the odd one out. Uniqueness is also an asset, is it not?
Wow, that's a great way to think about it. Paimon's really impressed. If only Miss Shani had a similar mindset, her life would definitely be a lot easier.
I'm just a more likable person than her in general. There's nothing more to it than that. He won't last long if we leave him here. Let's take him with us. We'll work out our next step after we return to Aru Village.
We're back!
You must be tired. You should rest and take some water.
What's the situation?
Who's this?
Unfortunately, somebody who's too young to take on the role of Isak's grandfather. Nevertheless, he's one of the people we're trying to find.
So, at one point in time, the abandoned Elazar Hospital served as the Academia's site for extracting divine cant knowledge.
Yep, pretty much.
Their plan must have been implemented at some point before we arrived at Aru Village, since divine cant knowledge has been in circulation for a while now. Yet, they fled once we were headed to the village, almost as if they knew we were on their trail. Why is that?
Yeah, why is that?
We may have a mole in our midst. One of us could be secretly revealing our whereabouts to the Academia.
Huh? Are our friendships that shallow?
Looks like none of you have realized wherein lies Sino. You're the reason why they can predict our movements.
Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
Choose your next words very carefully.
It is simply a logical inference. I have my reasons.
So what you're saying is... Sino's the mole. Interesting. And here I thought you were the most suspicious one, Alhaitham, since you were always acting alone.
I know. You have a point, but I realized something as we were returning from the hospital. Sino isn't like any of us.
What are you trying to say?
Do you still remember who you are, General Mahamatra? As a Matra, you are no doubt privy to certain kinds of information. Before you can take action against someone, simply put, the academia has traditionally allowed you access to a wealth of sensitive information. Knowing their modus operandi, wouldn't you expect them to take precautions against you? If you want to raise a vicious wolf, you need to make sure that you can avoid its bite.
The academia is monitoring me?
It's not that simple. The academia has eyes all over Sumeru, but they have a special protocol for dealing with you. Every so often comes a Nyagarbha Day. On this day, the academia enters new information into the Akasha through knowledge capsules. I remember seeing a thick notebook next to the control panel once. Its contents were all about the General Mahamatra, his activities throughout the day, preferred methods of enacting judgment, everything.
You're saying that the academia entered my information into the Akasha too? But what's the point in doing that? My actions aren't important enough to be added into the Akasha.
The Akasha is capable of computation. The Akasha's algorithms are entirely capable of predicting your movements using the data entered. When you would depart, the route you would follow, your destination. It knew all of this.
It predicted my every move.
The academia has been watching you longer than you think. However, the fact that you resigned is proof that their suspicions were well-founded.
So that's how it is. Sino adheres to his principles so strongly that he's actually a thorn in their side. Tenacity of will and steadfast faith are worthless to the academia. They need scholars who are easily pliable and mindlessly go after anything they can profit from. Sino, don't take it to heart. This just proves how much of a trustworthy ally you are.
They escaped because of me.
Don't blame yourself. It's not like any of us would have known.
I have an idea. If they predicted my movements, then I might be able to guess where they went.
Whoa, you bounced back fast.
There is always an opportunity for safety after danger passes.
Oh, so that's how it is! Paimon gets it now! If the academia is trying to avoid Sino, then the safest place would be... Yep, that's right!
They'll want to proceed in the direction opposite of where I'm going. I must go.
There's also something I want to investigate.
Let's go, guys! After him!
Please, wait! I want to go too!
You want to go too? If so, you have to promise you'll stay safe.
I want to find Grandpa. I promise I'll be careful and not cause any trouble.
Everyone, I leave him in your hands.
Yay! Let's go! Remember to pack some food with you! Paimon feels like we're missing someone, though.
I'll be awaiting your good news.
So, where do we go from here?
Yes. After leaving the village, we should head straight toward the desert.
I know the desert like the back of my hand. Is that because you play here a lot? Yep. One time, Grandpa almost got lost in the desert, but I was the one who brought him back.
There's something here. What's this?
It's buried in the sand. Looks like we'll need to roll up our sleeves and do some work.
And Paimon thought running around everywhere was already enough work. Okay. So, we have to dig it out? Whatever's down there looks like it's buried really deep.
These are likely fragments of an Academia-developed device, something akin to a headset. Looks like there were more than one village keeper. They must have been escorted this way because there are device fragments scattered around here. Let's split up and search the area. Chances are that we'll find other things nearby.
Is this what we're searching for? It looks kind of scary.
This is definitely a device used to extract divine knowledge.
How did it end up buried in the sand? That can't have been part of the plan. They must have been attacked along the way.
Wait, what? Grandpa, I hope you're okay. Don't worry, your grandpa's gonna be fine.
Razak didn't display any signs of starvation or dehydration, which means that they left fairly recently.
We should be able to catch up.
One more thing. Given that the device had been entirely covered by sand, I believe the attack must have happened prior to the sandstorm.
Let's keep going. They can't have gone far.
Ugh, but running on sand is so tiring. But you're flying, aren't you, Paimon? Is flying over sand tiring too? Ugh, of course it is!
Voices, over there. It sounds like an argument.
Whoa, you have really good ears.
Don't get any closer. They'll notice us.
Dia's talking with the Eremites? Very interesting. Let's listen in.
If you had informed me sooner, there'd be plenty of room for us to...
You're one of us. We would never lie.
Scholars. You don't know as much as I do. Need me to...
I knew it. That's our Dia.
Dia? Why would you... Dia! Hey, what are you doing?
Huh?
Didn't you say you'd help me find Grandpa? Why are you on their side?
Well, look who's here. Ain't that something?
This complicates things.
You've betrayed Aru village?
So, this is the great General Mahamatra. Dear, you'd be better off as my assistant than hanging around with this motley crew. Seen for yourself, I have the means and methods, and my ideals are far more admirable than theirs.
I'm not the type that's easily swayed, Raman. You of all people should know that.
Wait, what's going on, Dia? Whose side are you on here?
Shut it, Paimon.
It doesn't matter. Whichever side you pick, nothing can deter us from the grand mission of resurrecting King Deshret. Once our Lord of Old returns to this land, we will have a new beginning.
Face the facts, Rahman. It's not gonna happen. You should understand that more than anyone. Have all your years as a merc taught you nothing about placing hopes in a ruler?
I'm a desert dweller and a proud follower of King Deshret. Whether I live by the edge of the sword or in peaceful comfort, my soul will always carry this conviction.
It's not too late yet. The village mad scholars aren't gonna bring King Deshret back to life.
You don't understand, my dear lady. Pursuing our faith is our purpose in life. Even if the chance of success is 1 in a million, we must be willing to give everything we have.
Even if it'll expose you to the academia? Even if they end up disbanding the Eremites? Your Eremites, which you've worked so hard for all these years?
Yes. We've waited a long time for this day to come. The sun and the moon no longer shine here. All you see now is cracks in this desiccated land. But fate has finally dealt me a hand to play against the Academia. With these scholars in our custody, we'll stomp the Academia's forces and fight our way beyond the wall of Samiel.
Ridiculous. Think about it. The Academia controls the entirety of Sumeru. Your powers are negligible in comparison. If you still don't believe me, then try asking these 2 men. They're also against the Academia, but neither of them are as arrogant as you are.
They look more like pawns of the Academia to me. Why would I listen to anything the people of Greater Lord Rukkhadevada have to say? Filthy traitors. Your god abandoned all honor and betrayed King Deshret. We desert dwellers will never trust the likes of you.
It's impossible to communicate with someone so hostile. Perhaps we should.
Do you really believe that by kidnapping the scholars, you'll be able to negotiate with the Academia? These people have no value as bargaining chips, but I could be persuaded to take their place as your next hostage. These scholars were exiled from the Academia. I, on the other hand, am their current scribe, and will be a much greater asset to you.
Wait, you can't be serious.
So, you want to trade places with the hostages, do you?
Precisely. Any wise person would gladly accept my offer.
What are you thinking? What if they decide to kill you instead?
Well, that would be bad luck for me. However, I'd get the chance to observe the scholars, perhaps even find out the truth.
Think you can talk me over with that confident look of yours?
I'm not trying to persuade you. I'm using this as a means of joining forces against the Academia.
You are the scribe. What do you have against the Academia?
Not all desert dwellers believe in King Deshret, and the same applies to the Academia. Why must all knowledge seekers approve of the Academia's way of doing things?
You Academia scum. Every last one of you is nothing but a hypocrite, just like everyone else on the other side of that wall. I've made myself clear enough. I won't listen to another word from the Dendro Archon's people.
Not so fast. I'll hate them. Do you stand by everything you just said?
I never make empty promises.
You know you're making a dangerous decision, right?
I do.
Good. Rahman, hear me out. These people are my friends. Maybe you can't take the followers of the Dendro Archon at their word, but what about me? Do you trust me?
We've known each other for years. Of course I do.
In that case, I'm willing to vouch for their honesty with my right arm. Come on, Rahman, don't be a coward. If you're serious about taking on the Academia, you need to steel yourself. You can't be afraid.
An arm from the Flame Mane. You've piqued my interest. But what if you refuse to oblige? What should I do then? No one's a fool here, Dia. We're mercs. And mercs don't tend to live long unless they have their wits about them.
You're not wrong, but this is different. I promised my friends that we'd bring back the village keepers together.
Let's do it right here, then. Give me your right arm as proof of your resolve.
Don't listen to him! He's not even trying to negotiate! He just wants to make things more difficult!
That's fine.
Are you crazy?
We came here to save lives. One arm for that many people is still a pretty good deal, if you ask me. Rahman, I'm holding up my end of the deal here. You'd better not let me down.
Sure. Go ahead and cut off her right arm.
No! Dia! What are you gonna do? Think of something!
You don't have to go this far.
That's not for you to decide.
Do it!
Dia! Run!
Stop!
What's wrong? Can't do it?
Flame Mane, you and I are both desert folk. Cutting off your arm is no different than cutting off my own fingers. Where's the sense in cutting my own kin to pieces? You've shown me that you're serious. Go on now, take your friends and leave. Meet me in the desert at noon tomorrow.
Phew. I was really counting on him not going through with it.
Dia! That was crazy! Have you all lost your minds? What if he'd actually cut your arm off?
Then I'd just have to hold my claymore with my left arm. Okay, I'm sorry. But sometimes when you're out on a limb, you gotta double down to seal the deal, you know?
Don't ever make a promise like that again. I can deal with the likes of them. If it came down to it, you would not lose to them either.
I don't doubt it, Sino. But this is about more than me and them. There's a lot more where they came from. Even if we got rid of one bunch of radicals, there are others out there. Wiping them out would do more harm than good.
As you wish.
I'm sorry, Dia. I should have stayed put and listened. I should have trusted you.
It's okay. I promised you I'd help find your grandpa, so I'll do whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes? You just might be scholar material.
Huh? Are you serious?
The Eremites once said that I was a lunatic. Perhaps a little madness is essential to be successful in research.
Why does it feel like he's using his praise for me as an excuse to brag about himself? Okay, let's get moving. We should head back to the village and rest up. Today was just a trial run. Noon tomorrow is gonna be the hard part. Looks like we have everyone here. Isak, are you sure you want to come with us?
I'll watch from a safe distance. Dia, I want to be there to bring Grandpa home.
Okay, let's go then.
Dia, wait.
What's the matter?
I heard that you were quite reckless yesterday. No more of that today, understood? Or I'll be very upset with you.
Fine.
Huh. They got here before us.
Uh-oh. Is it because Paimon overslept by 5 minutes and held everyone up?
Is everything ready?
Absolutely. Although, you brought fewer people than I imagined.
Bring him over.
Grandpa! Why is there only one of them?
Rahman, I've always thought of you as a man of his word. What's this about?
It's a one-for-one exchange. Sounds fair, don't you think? And let me put it this way. Agreeing to any kind of deal with the Dendro Archon's people is already a huge compromise on my part. Don't you think you've asked enough?
You stay right there!
Boy, what do you think you're doing?
Don't you see this blade here? You coward! Why are your hands shaking? Wait a second! It's a earthquake!
Paimon's dizzy.
This day's going just great.
What a nuisance.
The sand dune collapsed. I saw an energy field. The village keeper protected us. It glowed green with dendro. Just like you said, it may well have been the remains of Lesser Lord Kusanali's power inside the scholar's body. The Dendro Archon. The present one.
Grandpa? Grandpa? Oh no, he's getting confused again.
Hey, look around you.
There used to be a temple here?
It seems that when the sand dune collapsed, it exposed these underground structures. The symbols on the gate belong to King Deshret's civilization. This structure must be ancient. Over time, the sandstorms completely buried it and left it in the state we see now. It could have been an underground palace in the distant past.
Oh, a miracle. Praise King Deshret!
What's he doing here? And his men too?
They must have fallen down here with us. Pretty lucky if you ask me. Most of them seem in really bad shape. Except for him. He got off lightly.
Mind your head.
No, this isn't the time for conflict. Our exalted lord has shown us the way to his sacred palace.
He's not actually gonna go in there, is he?
As it happens, I want to take a look inside too.
What are you doing?
Don't you think it's curious? 1 minute, Lesser Lord Kusanali's power protects us from harm, and the next, remnants of King Deshret's civilization appear. 2 major deities are vying to showcase their power to us. It would be a shame not to witness them both.
Paimon thought you weren't interested in gods.
Indeed. In my view, gods are just a higher form of living being, or creature, you could say. New discoveries are always worth investigating. Whether they have anything to do with gods is neither here nor there.
Raman, what are you gonna do about your men?
I'll just let them lay here. King Deshret will take care of his people. Right now, I'm going inside.
Oh, is it time for me to join you?
It's full of life here. This defies comprehension. It looked completely desolate from the outside. Yet, it flows with energy inside.
Yeah, and there's so many plants. It's so pretty.
Sir Raman.
Huh? Me?
Do you see another Raman here?
Are you mocking me? What do you mean, sir?
Interpret it however you want. But there's something I'd like to draw your attention to. While this structure is clearly left over from King Deshret's civilization, the energy that flows in here is that of the Dendro Archon.
Whatever you say. It's not like I have a vision.
There's nothing to be angry about. Think of this as an academic journey.
It does seem kinda strange. If that's true, then we might have to explore this whole area to find an explanation.
escape! Inazuma shines eternal! Ha! 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 Shine down!
Someone needs assistance.
Illusion shattered!
Windblade! Yeah!
As a dutiful maid would.
Shine down!
Time to go!
Torn to oblivion!
Prepare to be blown away!
There is no escape! Shine down!
Windblade!
See?
Illusion shattered! You shall perish! Shine down!
Higher, higher, hands on fire! Be gone!
Steady as stone. As a good knight should. Leave it all to me.
There is no escape!
Windblade!
Illusion shattered! Inazuma shines eternal!
Time to go!
Shine down!
Steady as stone. Yep.
I'll catch up. Go! Huh? Yeah! Windblade!
Oh god, am I lost? Where am I supposed to go? Let's see what happens if I... Nothing.
I must leave no stone unturned.
Shine down! There is no escape!
Steady as stone.
Like and share.
Insolent! Shine down!
That's a sight to see. King Deshret's splendor surrounds us.
There's so much vegetation here. It's different than what I expected.
Sure are a lot of plants for a desert.
That's what I call divine providence of King Deshret.
It's getting brighter! Oh, it looks so beautiful!
Wait.
I'm gonna be streaming this another time again soon. On the last thing.
What's this?
Then I'm gonna stream something else.
A load of flowers, and it looks like there's something among them.
These are King Deshret runes.
They left something behind. Yes. It's an elegy written in an ancient script.
What does it say?
Here lies our faithful priest Kasala. His wisdom is a miracle among the people, deserving of high praise and admiration.
You can read ancient King Deshret script?
Of course. Every student needs to master at least 20 languages before they graduate.
He's not serious, right?
There's still something off about this place. The elemental energy here is too concentrated. The scent of life. Is it trying to tell us something?
Is this it?
Analyzing.
There seems to be a hidden message among these skeletal remains. Excellent. There's a device from King Deshret's civilization in this gravesite. I'll transmit the information over and project it for everyone to see.
Isn't sharing knowledge against the Academia's rules?
Yes. However, under the circumstances, I'd prefer you to see this for yourself. You'll understand after watching it.
Civilization is born of knowledge, but so too can knowledge be its demise. A disaster caught us unaware. It was knowledge that did not belong to this world. King Deshret brought this forbidden knowledge into our world, and it quickly spread like a plague. People's minds were filled with crazed whispers. Dark gray scales spread across their bodies. Even the land was stripped of its vigor. Only a desperate, deathly silence remained. Were it not for greater Lord Rukkhadevata from the forests, the damage would have been irreversible. She summoned the priests to build temples and infused into them the divine power of life. The disaster was miraculously tempered, and the embers of our civilization were preserved in Aru village. Alas, the miracle could not last. As long as forbidden knowledge continued to exist, it would forever blight this world. In the end, the proud king of the desert, my eternal lord, chose to sacrifice himself. I have spent my whole life since guarding one of these many temples. But now, my duty is coming to an end. As I close my eyes for the final time, the sight of that noble deity will appear in my vision once more. In helping King Deshret to eradicate forbidden knowledge, she exhausted her strength, and her form became that of a small child. How strange. Now that I think of her, I no longer have any fear of death, for I sense that the spirit of life will abide with me during my eternal sleep. Children of the desert, cling no longer to past grievances, but hold tight to the memory of this act of benevolence.
What was that?
The priest's memories.
No, impossible.
Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. So the former Dendro Archon and King Deshret were never enemies at all.
But this doesn't make any sense. The Dendro Archon's followers, they're clearly...
Was that the former Dendro Archon? She became so tiny in the end.
You might be distrustful of the Akasha, but there's no reason for you to doubt King Deshret's technology. You've just witnessed his priest's last words.
I've never heard about any of this before. The surviving followers of King Deshret all gathered in Aru village. Our god did not make mistakes. We refuse to believe any of the rumors. King Deshret's death, the all but total annihilation of our civilization, it was all Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's doing. We saw her as nothing more than a traitor, who stabbed us in the back in our moment of crisis. Just like us humans, fighting, feuding, double-crossing each other to survive in the desert.
You were blinded by your prejudice.
If I hadn't seen this for myself, if I hadn't witnessed his last words with my own eyes, ears, and heart, how could I ever begin to accept this? The truth is so far from what I've always known. Am I really supposed to believe that after all these years, all this time seeking revenge, suddenly now my enemy is my savior?
Raman, that's enough. Give it a rest. You're starting to make a fool of yourself.
Dia, tell me, my Eremites and I, what are we even fighting for?
Hey, how you doing?
I'll live. Thanks. I should probably go. Can't just stay here forever.
What's your next move gonna be?
Oh, I know what you're going to ask. I feel deeply ashamed of everything I've done. You'll get everything you're asking for. But please, give me some time. After everything that's happened here today, somehow I need to explain it to the others.
It's not gonna be easy.
Well, I guess that's for me to deal with. Dia, this is where our camp's located. Make a note of it.
When would be a good time for us to go?
Tomorrow. I'll convince everyone that we're all on the same side. And I'll return every last one of your your village keepers. We'll share our other resources with you, too.
You seem to finally understand that our true enemy is the sages.
Yes. The gods never gave up on anyone. It's the people responsible for all this that need to face the consequences of their actions.
That must have been rough, but he seems to have figured things out now.
Ramon's no fool. Being the leader of your own faction in the desert is no easy feat. It's too bad he was held back by his belief in King Deshret, but now that that's changed...
The outcome, at least, is favorable.
We should get going too. Let's head back, have a proper meal, and a nice... long sleep. We'll need all our energy tomorrow.
Hmm.
Sino, we're leaving!
Stop yelling.
Raman, we're here.
Everything's been arranged. Someone will bring the village keepers back to Aru village.
I guess all I can say now is... thanks for agreeing to help.
Don't mention it. I think we can both agree you went to hell and back for it. But we share a common cause now. From here on out, we're allies.
Where are the perpetrators?
I'll bring you to them. Follow me.
So these are the people who kidnapped the village keepers.
Oh no, it's the scribe!
There's no need to yell. No one can help you now.
We've been all over the desert trying to find you!
That's right.
General Mahamatra? No, no! Make it quick, please! Swift and painless.
Whoa. The moment they set eyes on Sino, they turned pale like they've seen a ghost!
You should have known that I would be coming for you.
Wait, we were just following orders. You know what I'm talking about, right? There's no...
No, not Sino. He's gonna tear us limb from limb.
I could do worse.
Please have mercy.
Start talking. Otherwise, I'll have to resort to...
So, your superiors have kept you quite busy recently.
They, wanted to extract canned knowledge.
Don't play dumb. You know what I'm really asking. They extract divine canned knowledge. Then what?
I really don't know how to explain it.
Well, you better start talking or you'll be sorry!
You don't want to make things any more difficult for yourself, do ya?
Be my guest. Huh?
Uh-huh. That sure didn't sound like a fancy metaphor or anything. You're serious, aren't you?
How did you know?
There's no use hiding it now. Yes, you're right. The Academia is working on an important and potentially world-changing project. They are creating a new god. A god that will belong to them and to the people of Sumeru. It may seem as if Sumeru's academics are thriving, but ever since the death of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, scholarly breakthroughs have been few and far between. The withering of Irminsul has been getting worse recently. The sages have tried everything they could think of, but nothing's worked. I'm always hearing them say things like, if only Greater Lord Rukkhadevata was still with us.
Continue.
And then, someone from the Fatui showed up. They called him the Doctor. He brought a gnosis and said he wanted to borrow the Academia's research facilities. The Doctor was previously expelled from the Academia. At first, the sages looked down at him in disdain. But when he said those words, everyone's expression changed. He asked them, "Do you wish to create a god?"
This is what the arrogant ignorance at the extreme end of academia looks like.
First, the Academia spent a long time constructing a divine vessel, which was based on an exquisite humanoid puppet. After that, they harvested dreams via the Zeb-Zerus Festival Samsara, maximizing the Akasha's output. With the Doctor's help, and the Akasha now functioning at maximum efficiency, they were able to use it. Next, they decided that their new god needed to possess divine wisdom. For that to happen, they needed a...
It adds up.
But how do you determine whether the knowledge extracted is of
Call it an educated guess? The Academia... Nobody can explain the cause of this phenomenon. Surely you can see what that implies, Scribe Al-Haytham. If it's knowledge no mortal can comprehend, then it must be something only gods are able to decipher. In other words, it's the source of the God of Wisdom's omniscience and omnipotence.
You must have noticed by now. The Academia doesn't care about who their god is. It's the ability to exercise control over knowledge and wisdom that matters. It is as if they are cursed with a desire for omniscience and omnipotence that burns in their blood. Some organisms demonstrate phototaxis, and thus orient their entire lives in respect to sources of light. For the sages, their only source of hope is the existence of a deity who embodies the acme of wisdom. This is but a form of phototaxis. For many scholars, the absence...
Then what does Lesser Lord Kusanali mean to you? Is she not a true god present in this world? If you...
From the beginning, the Academia has never treated her as a god. When the Academia first discovered Lesser Lord Kusanali, the newborn god of wisdom, the sages hoped that she would be as wise as Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. But upon evaluation, they found that at the time she possessed no more intelligence than any ordinary human child. The sages never had a ruder awakening. This forced them to accept that Greater Lord Rukkhadevata had indeed passed away. Not to mention that Lesser Lord Kusanali's gnosis had been used to power the Akasha this entire time. By herself, she has neither an Archon's raw power. Slowly but surely, people began to forget about her existence.
So, this is the path the sages have chosen.
All right, let's try to keep our cool. Raman, give me a few men.
Sure.
The village keepers you found have all been returned to their homes, and each one has a dedicated caregiver to look after them. The 2 new scholars are being kept under close supervision, too. Really great work, everyone.
The atmosphere is so heavy. Hey! Say something! Stop spacing out!
Come on, is there nothing left to talk about? In that case, let's all get some water and try to think about something else.
Or I can go fetch some snacks.
Oh, Paimon's so coming with you!
Do you have any plans, Traveler?
Gods above, you're not talking about work, are you?
So you were still withholding some information?
Even though we lived through all of this firsthand, it's...
What a whirlwind of a story. I felt like I was holding my breath the whole time.
It seems like there'll be more issues to face in the days ahead than I'd anticipated.
Still, now's a good time to make our next move. Now that Raman's joined us, we'll be an even stronger team.
It's time to make a plan.
Indeed. These events are a flagrant transgression of the rules in every sense. We cannot allow it to continue.
So, everyone, are we on the same page?
Crush the sages and rescue our god. That is our ultimate goal.
Well, let's brainstorm a little more about what other resources we can draw on.
The next time we gather here, we must have a solid plan.
Yep, it'll work out for sure.
Everyone is already waiting inside.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's join...
Please. Wait a moment. Before attending the meeting, I hope you can promise me one thing.
What do you need?
Promise me that you won't commit to anything too reckless.
What do you think?
Okay. They're all waiting for you.
Everyone's here so early! But...
We already discussed things a bit.
Hey, where have you been? I've been...
Are you ready?
Very well.
Are you sure this is gonna work?
I gotta admit, it's bold.
The point of discussion is to arrive at a solution. Let's cut the small talk and move to the next point.
You're making Paimon nervous.
You're finally done.
I have some other stuff to take care of. Catch you all later. Come on, don't give me that face. I know what you're going to say. I'll be careful.
That's what I wanted to hear. Take care. Well, Traveler, Paimon, judging from your expressions, the meeting must have been quite productive.
You can tell?
I'm not that good at scheming or strategy, but I can sense people's emotions. And based on your reaction, things must have gone quite well.
Paimon's a little worried. Hopefully nothing will go wrong.
To be honest, I feel the same. But you're already some of the most capable people I know, so you have my trust.
Candace gave us a compliment!
Your deeds speak for themselves.
Candace...
I'm very glad to... I've said the same thing. Only when you're safe can the plan... You're welcome. Good luck.
Sounds good. I'll go make some preparations.
Okay. Have you finished saying your goodbyes?
Yeah! Also, Candace told everyone to be careful.
Yes, she did. But I think my point also bears repeating. Our plan is not child's play. We won't be able to achieve anything if we're simply careful. We must go beyond that and fully commit ourselves to it. I hope this is clear to you.
Huh? Shouldn't you be saying something more cheerful to boost our morale right now?
Didn't we already do that during the meeting?
You can never have enough words of encouragement.
In that case, Candace can cuddle you to your heart's content while I continue to remind you of the seriousness of our situation. We all have our jobs to do, after all. It's like how some people can be put in charge of logistics while others will... Of course. Compared to the but the advantage of... Just think about that mercenary who...
Well...
I'm not like the...
This guy.
Do you remember the record we saw in the King Deshret ruins? You have a good memory. Forbidden knowledge has the power to... I think. But the Academe... Come to think of it. The Withering. Elazar. And the Sandstorms. Don't you think what is happening right now across Sumeru is rather similar to the forbidden knowledge pollution that occurred?
But Paimon thought that Irminsul's disease is what caused the withering in the sandstorms. At least, that's what Tainari told us. Wait a second. Could it be that...
Ah, you've connected the dots. The cause of Irminsul's illness may precisely be the pollution from forbidden knowledge.
But if that's the case, what should we do? This is huge!
Wait. Why do you think Lesser Lord Kusanali would have a solution to this situation?
You mean, it's related to the scene you saw when you passed out in the Avidia Forest? That whole... the world forget me thing?
In that case, it's imperative that we rescue Lesser Lord Kusanali. Only by working with her to save Irminsul can we completely resolve the problems Sumeru currently... To make sure we're still on track, I would like to check on the state of some of our preparatory work.
Where are we going?
To an Eremite base. They're here.
Huh? What are they?
I gave them some...
Ah, it's the scribe. And is that the traveler I see?
How's the work going?
Ah, yes! We have fixed the devices according to your instructions. One of them is already ready for use, while the others...
Aren't those devices for Ken-No?
Look here.
Huh?
What's that look on your face?
Paimon's a little scared, but...
That's an interest. Anyway, we're not going to use this. As I mentioned during the meeting, this knowledge capsule contains a decree I drew up in the past. The Academia should also have their own copy. And according to the plan we just came up with, Traveler, I want you to record something into this capsule. Do you believe we can save Lesser Lord Kusanali? Good. Conviction is the most important part of all of this. Now, please get ready and put on this device.
You want us to record our conviction?
Yes.
Paimon is still really worried.
I understand, but trust me, Paimon, this is something we have to do. It's best if you can do as I say. Because, to achieve this impossible task, it sounds like you'll need to fool your own heart first.
Paimon can see the point you're trying to make.
Imagine this. We have orchestrated our plan. Everything went without a hitch. Now, open your eyes. Here.
What's this?
Read it out loud. It's done.
Is your head okay? Does anything hurt?
It's just a recording. There should be no negative effects.
But
And that's perfectly fine. In any case, these capsules aren't meant to be used by you.
Huh? What do you mean?
Have you forgotten? Our plan needs to account for those who have long relied on the Akasha. You may find it hard to believe, but for those people, everything the Akasha transmits to them is nothing short of absolute truth. Imagine if you've been using a device like the Akasha since the day you were born. And after all that time, a slave to order, and that's why rules are so important. In addition, those who understand the rules can delineate boundaries and identify gray areas.
But why would you need to identify the gray areas?
You could say that those kinds of ambiguous zones...
Things you're interested in are really out there. Are all Sumeru scholars like this?
Anyway, that's enough chit-chat. I'm going to take those two to work on some small projects. You can head to Caravan Rebot and start preparing for the next step.
Small projects?
We're going to tinker with the Akasha terminal and make a few...
I thought we agreed on a plan. How can you go back on your word?
The plan is too radical and carries a high risk for casualties. I've given it a lot of thought. And in the end, I still can't agree to it.
But it's still the best plan we have. As a former Matra, you of all people should be able to see the bigger picture and recognize the innate advantages of our plan.
I did. And that's how I saw the danger behind these so-called advantages. Alhaitham's plan is even more radical than I imagined.
Huh? Why are you guys arguing?
My friend, you're just in time. Why don't you help me persuade Sino? He's turned against our plan.
We agreed to work out a plan at the meeting. As mercenaries, you're familiar with the local environment, so you'll take care of the specifics. But then, you went to Alhaitham for suggestions. Had I known Alhaitham would give you those kinds of suggestions, I would not have agreed to the plan.
Look, you already know that we're all on the same side here, don't you?
Mercenaries place a lot of importance on their bonds of friendship, but also will not hesitate to make sacrifices if they deem the situation to be sufficiently dire. I'm sorry, but as things stand...
Seems you really do understand the ways of the desert.
Traveler, Paimon, this is also something you should know. Ramon's plan is to have me work with the Caravan Rebot guards in my capacity as a Matra. We will arrest the mercenaries and escort them into Sumeru City.
Wait, how...
We can't get through. My plan will clear...
That also sounds like something Alhaitham told you.
Doesn't Alhaitham know how dangerous this plan is?
Of course he does. He also said that I never blindly trust anyone, and I've always had a...
If I make the arrests alone, I can control myself and prevent you from getting hurt. But I can't guarantee that kind of discipline from the guards. To make the whole thing more convincing, you'll need to resist to some degree. Casualties are inevitable once push comes to shove. I'm okay with the deaths of enemies. But now that we're allies, I'm against the meaningless loss of our own.
I can't believe a Matra would actually care about us. I've lived a hard life, and I can say that people like you are hard to come by.
I've always treated my allies with honesty and respect. They have the right to know important things like this.
Now you're making this hard for me.
Hey, is there something we can do to help? We can help fight some of the mercenaries.
Sino, on behalf of we have no fear of casualties.
Well, now that you've put it, but remember, You need to follow the plan and not do anything reckless. Candace made it very clear that we can only achieve our goals if we can ensure our safety. Since you and I both recognize the significance of this operation, there should be no more animosity between the followers of the Dendro Archon and those of King Deshret.
Okay, you have a deal. Let's do this for our shared dream.
The guards should be stationed in the courtyard nearby. Guards!
General Mahamatra! To what do we owe the honor?
Keep your voice down. This is a secret operation. I'm going to arrest a large criminal gang near this location. According to the Academia's Guide and Regulations on Secret Operations, I have the right to ask for the cooperation of Caravan Rebot.
Ah, of course, of course. Mahamatra Sino's order is the Academia's order. Just let us know what you need. But who exactly are you planning to arrest, and how many people are you expecting? Depending on the scale of this operation, we may need to report it to our superiors.
They're a squad of Eremites whose number is comparable to Ain el Akhmar in Port Ormos. They're involved in the theft and resale of supplies from the Academia.
As many as Ain el Akhmar? This should definitely be classified as a joint operation.
Then I suggest that you report this to your superiors as soon as possible, and treat it as a top priority desert operation. I will need personnel.
Got it. Please wait a moment. I'll contact them immediately.
Because this is work. Because I trust you.
Paimon can't believe you're still in the mood to chat. This whole thing has Paimon scared stiff. Aren't you even a little worried? Even if that guard doesn't know, their superiors might, right?
We discussed this, remember?
The Caravan Rebot operation is of great importance. But don't worry. The guards there shouldn't know that Sino has stepped down.
How can you be so sure?
First, the other Matra still don't know why Sino has left, which proves that the Academia has been covering up the matter. Second, this is a crucial moment for the Academia's God creation plan. If something were to happen to the General Mahamatra, it's no matter how you look at it, they don't seem interested in sharing the news of Sino's departure.
A reasonable inference. I agree.
Which brings us to our next issue. I'm sure some of you have been wondering if the prediction function of the Akasha will affect our operation.
The Akasha is still in operation, so I must remain on high alert. Actually, considering the power of the Akasha, it's quite strange that it hasn't already tried to interfere with my actions.
I've given that a lot of thought. For now, I don't think you'll need to worry. If you remember, when you first came to Aru Village, all your actions and routes were predicted by the Akasha. It even gave that information to those who kidnapped the village keepers. But things like that never happened again after we met up with the Traveler.
That's true. But why?
Look at it from a different angle. Why do you think the Akasha will predict your actions?
Because my personal data has been entered into the Akasha.
That's true, but the key to this question is, how well can the Akasha make predictions about a person? Haven't you ever thought about it? Just how can it do this in the first place?
Because the Akasha controls the entirety of Sumeru.
The Academia firmly believes that all human actions can be explained through logic.
By sorting and analyzing entered data, the Akasha can derive behavioral logic and predict the actions of those who fit an existing logic model. However, at the risk of sounding like an advocate for fallacies, can everyone truly be considered logical at all times? Emotions are part of our behavioral logic, but can you guarantee that every experience of the same joy or pain would be equally intense? How can our feelings and opinions be predictable down to the letter in every single instance? Sino, in the past, you've always worked alone. In the absence of another person who could sway you or your thoughts, the Akasha could produce predictions decisive and principled. You were used to solving problems alone. That's why the Akasha could figure you out. But now, you've joined a team. And I believe the Akasha hasn't yet figured out the full composition of it. Our thoughts and logic have intermingled and weaved themselves together to become a complicated, chaotic mess. Any one of the Akasha lacks data on these interactions, and it's impossible for it to predict your actions in the future based on your decisions in the past. So, in my opinion, you're probably safe for now.
Makes sense to me. I agree. The Akasha is not alive, and I don't think we can be completely controlled by something without a mind of its own.
Is that so? I guess there are things that even the Akasha cannot calculate, and people will not be forever trapped by the past.
I'm so glad that this is settled.
Next time, pay attention during our meetings.
Will do.
Just remember to stay vigilant.
Footsteps!
General Mahamatra, we were not expecting your presence here. I'm the security officer of the Great Red Sand District. My name is Luxembarbo.
This is my assistant, the Traveler. She will be working with me. The construct next to her is for her work.
Beep! Construct, beep!
What a great honor to meet you. Your golden hair is as bright as the sun. And,
Have you made a decision regarding the matter I mentioned to your subordinate?
It seems to be a dire situation, so of course you will have our full cooperation.
There's no need for flattery.
Yes.
Take your most elite platoon and follow me to the eastern side of the district. We will carry out the operation there.
Understood.
Map.
Hurry, bring the map!
In 2 days, we will engage Rahman's Eremites and capture all of them. Any questions about the time?
I gotta stop at part 90.
None at all, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Maybe hanging around the General Mahamatra isn't so bad after all. Everyone's so respectful towards us.
This is all due to the absolute authority of the Academia. Get ready.
I'm gonna stop today.